Reptiles Quiz, questions and answers. What is the largest living reptile species? Saltwater crocodiles. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest crocodile species in the world, and the largest living reptile in the world, reaching over 880 to 2,200 pounds in some cases, and growing to 17 to 20 feet long. How fast can a chameleon's tongue travel? "60 miles per hour. Chameleons' tongues can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 1/100th of a second, twice as fast as the fastest car. Which amphibian has a tail? Salamanders. Salamanders and newts have tails, and two pairs of limbs of roughly the same size. However, they are somewhat less specialized in body form than the other two orders. What reptile has the longest lifespan? Longest lived reptile, the giant tortoise. These turtles have lifespans that perfectly match their 500 to 1,000 pound weights. Giant tortoises in captivity have been known to live longer than 200 years. Which is the smallest reptile in the world? The male nano-chameleon, Brookesia. The current smallest reptile is a chameleon called Brookesia. It is only 13.5 millimeters in body length. Was discovered on Madagascar. What's the most poisonous frog on Earth? The golden poison frog. Toxicity. The golden poison frog is the most poisonous animal on the planet. These frogs produce deadly alkaloid batrachotoxins in their skin glands as a defense against predators. What is the most venomous snake species? The inland taipan. Its bite is lethal in more than 80% untreated cases, and can kill a human in under an hour. What type of lizard can run on water? Basilisk lizard. These lizards can sprint on their hind legs. Their speed and specialized scales on their feet allow them to run across the water's surface for several yards. Which animal is the largest lizard? The Komodo dragon. The Komodo dragon is the largest living lizard in the world. These wild dragons typically weigh about 154 pounds. The dragon is a monitor lizard of the family Varanidae. The largest verified specimen reached a length of 10.3 feet and weighed 366 pounds, 166 kilograms. What is the first known reptile in history? Hylonomus. A series of footprints from the fossil strata of Nova Scotia, dated to 315 million years, show typical reptilian toes, and imprints of scales. The tracks are attributed to Hylonomus, the oldest unquestionable reptile known. Where do crocodiles release excess body heat? Mouths. Crocodilians have evolved to maximize heat gain, and minimize water loss. Basically, they can't sweat like we do to cool down. They evolved other methods of cooling, by opening their mouths, and essentially sweating, through their mouths. The larvae stage of a frog is called what? Tadpoles. Most frogs, and other amphibians hatch, as fish-like larvae called tadpoles, or polywogs. Tadpoles exist to eat, and grow. Most tadpoles are fully aquatic. They eventually transform into froglets, a process called metamorphosis. What is the study of reptiles called? Herpetology. A person who studies both reptiles and amphibians is called a herpetologist. Herpetology is a specialization of zoology, the study of animal life. What's the name of the largest snake in the world? Anaconda. The biggest snake in the world is the green anaconda. With a whopping length of 20 to 30 feet, weighing up to 550 pounds. What type of reptile can detach its tail when it's in danger and then regrow it? Lizards. When attacked by a predator, lizards sometimes detach their tail to distract a predator. After the tail falls off, it will continue to wiggle. Which animal can move its size independently? Chameleon. A chameleon's eyes have the ability to move independently of one another, allowing them to have a 360-degree field of vision. Which animal doesn't sleep at all? Bullfrog. No rest for the bullfrog. The bullfrog was chosen as an animal that doesn't sleep. Bullfrogs are thought to be animals that can survive without sleeping for months at a time. True or false? Dinosaurs were reptiles. Yes, true, all dinosaurs were egg-laying reptiles. Dinosaurs are a group of reptiles that dominated the land for over 140 million years, more than 160 million years in some parts of the world. The word dinosaur means terrible lizard. Many believe that, like snakes and lizards, dinosaurs were reptiles. All dinosaurs are reptiles, but not all reptiles are dinosaurs. Which part of its prey can a snake not digest? Fur or feathers. All snakes digest food, using strong stomach acid and enzymes. The prey stays in the stomach for days, which allows it to digest bones. Prey's hair, feathers, and claws can't be digested by snakes, as they're made from keratin, which is an undigestible substance. How many groups of amphibians are there? 3 classes. Today amphibians are represented by frogs and toads, newts and salamanders, and caecilians. Reptiles lay eggs on land, this is called oviparous. Reptiles that lay eggs are called oviparous. This is the same for all animals. Reptile reproduction is also dependent on temperature. Which reptiles are herbivores? Iguana. iguanas are herbivores, which means they exclusively eat plants, and fruits etc. and do not eat other animals. What is the only venomous lizard in the world? The Gila monster. The desert-dwelling Gila monster is a heavy, typically slow-moving reptile, up to 56 centimeters long, and it is the only venomous lizard native to the United States. What is the process of a reptile shedding its skin called? Ecdysis. The process of shedding skin is called ecdysis, and many factors can affect how and when snakes shed, including species, age, weather, and temperature, nutritional health, and the presence of bacteria or parasites. Younger snakes typically shed more than adults, because they are still growing, because it doesn't fit anymore, or because it's old or worn out. When snakes grow, their skin does not, so they outgrow it. When this happens, they shed their outer layer of skin. Which animal uses its mouth to cool down? Crocodile. Crocodilians have evolved to maximize heat gain and minimize water loss. Basically, they can't sweat like we do to cool down. They evolved other methods of cooling, by opening their mouths, and essentially sweating through their mouths. Many reptiles sleep, for the whole winter, in a behavior known as brumation. Mammals hibernate, and reptiles brumate. But there are also differences in the behaviors. While hibernation is most often seen as a seasonal behavior, it's not exclusive to cold weather critters. Brumation is a natural process that many reptiles undergo in the wild during the cold winter months to conserve energy. All reptiles lay eggs, true or false? False. Many reptiles are oviparous. That is, they hatch their young from eggs they lay. Some snakes and lizards, however, give birth to live young. Most reptiles hatch from eggs. Most reptiles lay eggs with soft, leathery shells. But minerals in the shells can make them harder. What's the longest reptile in the world? Reticulated pythons. Reticulated pythons are considered to be the longest snake. The world record for the length of a reticulated python is a whopping 32 feet and 9.5 inches. Where do almost half of all chameleon species live? Madagascar. There are roughly 90 species of chameleon. Nearly half of those species live in Madagascar, while the rest live in Africa south of the Sahara Desert. Which reptiles can live the longest without food? Crocodiles. Crocodiles are the largest reptiles in existence, and are also the reptiles that can go the longest without food. And in extreme cases, they can go up to 3 years without food. How many chambers do amphibians' hearts have? 3 heart chambers. Most amphibians, including frogs and toads, have 3-chambered hearts, with 2 atria and 1 ventricle. Their heart anatomy, histology, and physiology are reviewed. Where could one find a tuatara? New Zealand. Tuataras are found only in New Zealand. In 1989, a group of tuataras was discovered on New Zealand's Brothers Islands. Do crocodiles have webbed feet? They do. Crocodiles have webbed feet, which though not used to propel them through the water, allow them to make fast turns and sudden moves in the water or initiate swimming. Which reptile doesn't have any teeth? Tortoise. Their upper and lower jaws are, instead, covered by horny ridges. Carnivorous turtles usually have knife-sharp ridges for slicing through their prey. Herbivorous turtles have serrated-edged ridges that help them cut through tough plants. They use their tongues to swallow food. Which reptile has super sticky saliva? Chameleon. Chameleons don't wrap their tongues around their prey, which means that the food they catch must somehow stick to their tongue. Chameleon saliva was found to have an average viscosity of 0.4 pascals, making it about 400 times thicker than human saliva. What kind of turtle can't retract into its shell? Sea turtles. Unlike other turtles, sea turtles cannot retract their flippers and head into their shells. But their streamlined shells and large paddle-shaped flippers make them very agile and graceful swimmers. What happens to an alligator egg that is exposed to temperatures above 93 degrees Fahrenheit? It will be born as a male. At temperatures above 93 degrees Fahrenheit, or 34 degrees Celsius, an alligator egg will be born as a male. When the temperature stays below 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius, it will be born female. Intermediate temperatures produce both sexes. How many eyes does an iguana have? 3 eyes. Iguanas actually have 3 eyes. Their third eye, which resembles a scale on the top of their heads, is called the parietal eye. This organ is sensitive to changes in illumination, and scientists believe the lizards use it as a sort of sun-calibrated compass to steer by the sun. Which type of reptile has scales that are made of keratin, like human nails? Snakes. Did you know that snake skin/scales are made up of keratin, the same material of our hair and nails? This is very tough and waterproof, so it stops the reptile from drying out. What does Komodo dragon venom do to its prey? Inhibition of blood clotting, lowering of blood pressure, muscle paralysis, and the induction of hypothermia. Komodo dragons kill using a 1-2 punch of sharp teeth and a venomous bite. That Komodo dragons have venom in their saliva, which is designed for exsanguination by causing blood pressure to plummet, inhibiting coagulation, and inducing shock in the victim. Thanks for watching. See you on next video.